So let's do it. Let's really talk about it, because I don't think people really like to think about it. Let's really talk about it. Just you and me, right here, between us. Hi, by the way, if you don't know me, I'm Shaggy. I'm Phil Alitea. I like to talk about uncomfortable truths because it stretches our minds, and, you know, that feels better than not stretching our minds. There's a sex analogy in there that I'm not allowed to make in YouTube. I've introduced this idea to my audience before, and I've been introducing it to Gemini, the AI, recently, but the way that I like to think about things, especially when I'm doing thought experiments and I'm just trying to see what I know and what I don't know and what might be interesting to think about for the first time in subjects, what I like to do is I like to think about them as three independent structures in a triangle in circular motion. The reason I like to do that is because that gives you all the basic structures you need for a sphere and all of the compositional components of the Metatron's cube, or a dodecahedron. Icosahedron maybe is the proper word. And your brain just went plump, and that plump of your brain, that's alcohol. Now, I haven't had a drink in a meaningful way in over 4 years, but there's no way, because of my addictive personality and my consumption habits, that my mid-20s and early 30s wouldn't have been just considered the behavior of an alcoholic. I never needed it, but I'm a routine person, so it was like, if I'm going to drink once this week, I'm going to drink twice every day until I don't have any. But I kept it together. I was functional. Like, it didn't get in the way of my life because I didn't go to work drunk. And so there's no way to describe me as not a functional pothead, because I absolutely went to work high. In fact, when I started smoking, I also had just started bicycling to work, and there was absolutely no way that I wasn't going to get on that bicycle high as fuck. There was no way I wasn't spending my first hour of my day stoned riding a bike to work. There's just no way. Life was too beautiful to not do it stoned. And there's your difference right there. That's the difference in alcohol and weed in a meaningful way. Neuronally, alcohol and weed have the same effect, so you're right to be skeptical, especially of what you've known as burnouts. Stoners who smoke so much, so fast, so young that they just burn their brains out. That's all they are, is stoned all the time, because they didn't have the self-control to limit their intake. So now their need is just so great, they've destroyed their brain. Well, if I can describe geometrical structures within my brain and within the way that I think about things that can blow your mind, what I don't need is to stop smoking weed. The alcohol stretches the neurons out in your brain so that the synapses or whatever, it stretches the space between them so that you can fill it with novel personal experience. That's what it feels like. Weed has the same effect, but instead of novel personal experience, it allows you or gives you space to see novel external experience. So it's the difference in the I and the it, or the we and the they. And this is why alcoholics and stoners just don't ever get along. But cigarettes are just a snack, right? They're just a snack with whatever psychoactive properties.